Hello, fellow brothers in arms, and welcome back to Shovel Knight.
Hey! Brothers and sister!
Tally-ho!
That's right. We have a new initiate among our whole Tropical King religion where we suddenly started. Welcome, Jordy.
Welcome.
Hello! Welcome. Thank you for having me.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this initiative going forward. That no one ever put me in the loop on this.
Well, unfortunately.
Well, hi, don't you remember? Don't you remember all that ichor that the giant Tropical King himself spit into your cup?
Yep.
Well, I thought we were just going to the local slushy machine to get a refill.
Hype! You realize that automatically makes you a club member.
There's a joke there's a joke that could be made here that would be very easy for me to make here, but I shouldn't.
Do it.
So,
do it.
Instead, I will say welcome to our first challenge map.
So before we go to our first major stage of this, well, our next major stage of this part, we're tackling one of the very rare but very rewarding bonus challenges, which require you to bring a certain relic that you got from an earlier level and put it to the test.
Oh,
gotcha.
That was a close one.
But obviously, be mindful of that, especially in the case of this level, which requires the phase locket. Because you will need it unless you want to, die right at the spike bed.
Yep. Do note that you can always use it even in midair. Makes you invulnerable for a short period of time. Oh.
Especially against these. I still don't know what exactly to call these things. They're like
I just call them like energy falcons. I don't know why.
I know exactly why you call them energy falcons. That's why I call them. That's why I call them energy falcons.
Why?
Because they're literally
because Game Grumps called them
Gramps.
that.
Okay.
Game Gramps. That. Dude, can you imagine? Can you believe the fact? Can you believe that? I think Egoraptor is actually over 40 now.
I think
Dang.
he is.
Actually, you say
if he is, if he's not, then I think Danny is definitely almost over 40.
Well, I was about to say is you mentioned the idea of like Game Gramps. Now I'm just imagining like the Grumps thing where it's like, "Hey, I'm Gramps. I'm not so Gramps."
just a tombstone that says it, that's etched on it. I'm not so great.
Where is up, dog?
Hey, I'm Graham. I'm nuts. Where am I?
I'll be right back, guys.
Anyway, so for this part, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading on to the Explodatorium, home of the ever-famous, or infamous if you prefer to call it that way, Plague Knight.
I want to ask,
Yeah,
I forget how prevalent they are, but those platforms where, if you step on them, the pillars of fire shoot out and whatnot, you two can be honest, was that any more or less difficult to manage in co-op?
It's trickier to manage in co-op, but it's also a matter of it's a matter of timing. It's not, obviously we don't want to get on it around the same time, because the guy behind was going to take the heat.
Right. I would say that'd be the best thing to describe this co-op compared to say.
That's with me, brother.
I would say that would be the best way to describe Shovel Knight co-op compared to say our outings with the likes of Rayman. Is that it definitely takes a little bit more foresight. Like you can't just you can't just go running into it headlong. I don't want to fish.
You go fish.
You're a fisherman.
Okay, I'll fish.
I don't want to fish you. The fish
and you wonder why I'm the breadwinner of the family.
Maybe it'll be a trouble.
You were about to say relationship. I was about to say we weren't doing
it
today.
Ah ha ha. We still gotta get back to that later. But in the meanwhile, that would be the best way to describe. That'd be the best way I would describe it. Welcome back. Is that co-op in this game takes a lot more time to process. Like, don't just go running in like balls ablazing like as we would back in Rayman. Like, take the time to. Oh, hey, that's for you.
Oh yeah, I need them much more. Thank you.
Take the time to strategize, plan out how you're gonna approach a room, because a benefit is that since every room follows Mega Man logic, only one of you has to actually get to the end point for you both to survive. So here, Pauline, and bam, I just things like that. So. While she's here, while we're in one of the most, recognized... Okay, I guess I'll go. One of the most recognizable villains of Shovel Knight lore. Jordy, what are your thoughts and experiences with the Shovel Knights?
I mean, honestly, the only real experience I've had with Shovel Knight is based on your guys' playthrough of this, like, from a long time ago. aside from that, not much else, but I can say from what I have seen, it looks really fun. I think that the story is really good, and I like the like how it's set up, and the music especially I think is really good.
Well, especially. Yes. Oh, speaking of the music, actually, perfect. You brought that up. There is a little factoid I want to bring up regarding Shovel Knight's soundtrack. I mean, as most people know, it was primarily handled by Jay Kaufman. Mm-hmm. So they did get one very special guest to help with some of the tracks.
Oh yeah.
Most especially this one. Actually, at least I want to say. Actually, yeah, I think she was involved with two of the Knights' themes in this game, and both of them do take place in this exact same tier. One, Manami Matsume, who previously did the soundtrack of the original Mega Man.
Oh!
That makes sense!
Yep.
Was brought in to compose some of the tracks, and the Exploratorium is one of them.
Oh, that's so sick, actually, that they actually got a Mega Man composer. I'll admit, most I ever hear about with Mega Man is Yuki-chan's Papa. I didn't know about a Manami, or, sorry, the other person.
Well, the thing about Yuki-chan's Papa, from what I immediately remember, is that he wasn't exactly so much a composer, but more so, he was the one that handled all the synthesizers to make, make the music actually work.
Oh, he handled the sound font. Gotcha, not the compositions. Gotcha.
Right, the compositions, I think, were, at least with Mega Man 1 and 2, were handled by Manami.
Is that guy just like a massively strong enemy? Because I swear it looked like he knocked James out right after he got revived.
Well, don't forget. James revives with half of whatever health I had in individual.
Chester.
He's a good dude.
Hey.
But no, those guys are basically this game's Knuckle Joes, and they suck.
Yeah, they're a piece of work. But actually, that. You mind? Hey. So, before I completely lose my train of thought, Matt says one of the more broken items in the game is the Chaos Sword. For me, I feel that's easily the Alchemy Coin, because it absolutely wrecks enemies.
That's fair. I'm talking, that's with regular enemies. I'm talking about bosses.
Bosses, right.
Yeah.
Boss fights, I'll still say that, like, the Chaos Orb is still helpful, but I think the Flame Wand is just as useful.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, while we're dealing with this, I'm going to make myself a bit of mutton. So you guys regale Jordy with tales of my heroics.
Mutton?
Sure thing. Sure thing, bud. Hold on, Wayne.
Alrighty, I'll talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, alright. Sure thing, bud. So
what
shit
about
at
my
this
heroics?
Game. No, he shit at this game.
Yeah, I know, but there's more to life than being heroic in a video game. You could be heroic, like, say, I don't know, getting work done, or sweeping the floor, or spending time with your family.
Well, all right, little Missy. If you're so eager to talk about your accomplishments, go on right ahead.
Okay then. I got some mission work done.
That's good.
Let's see, what else did I do? My girlfriend and I recently got back to watching Harley Quinn, which I'm liking so far. What else did I do?
Well, that was.
Oh yeah, this boss. Really quick, I will say though as well. I hope you do realize that I will be the first to say this. Logan is shit at this game. So
And you're only saying that because he's currently away with taking care of his mutton.
No.
You better make enough
totally
money
not.
To share.
Unfortunately, this is the day that Mr. Hyde got the better of us.
Oh,
yuck! What clever knights!
But yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, I know another thing that you did recently, like I imagine this will be up well before that post gets public, but I know you and I did a art collab lately.
Yes, we did. It's up on my Patreon right now. Totally not self-advertising right now.
Go ahead and advertise.
No, but really, I think we did a good job on that piece. And speaking of pieces, I'm also working on a thumbnail for a song collab that my girlfriend and I are doing.
Oh, what
and
song is that, if you don't mind asking?
It's All I Ask of You from Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, okay. Well, like, I remember that they were talking about wanting to do, like, a solo song. Were they still wanting to do that, or did they change their mind?
A solo song? Oh, wait. You're talking about Peaches. Yeah, they I'm still kind of wanting to do that, and she will not stop, you know, trying to serenade me with it. And I'm like, Jazzy! What?
Oh, I was just reading the fish that he just pulled up.
Oh.
Yeah, basically the blue one that gives you invincibility for a little while. Given to us by a apple trout.
Yes.
The Truffle King.
Long may his stem grow.
Yeah, don't. Have
Here
money.
I am. Yeah. Oh no! Money wasn't the solution to the problem. Crap!
Democracy failed us. Not democracy.
They offered
Capitalism.
no.
Yes.
They offered me the only thing I could. They offered me the one thing I couldn't refuse: money.
But he did refuse
Money.
because that wasn't what killed him.
Yeah, no, like, the alchemy coin is very useful against smaller grunts, and, you know, you can get a pretty impressive payout, usually. When it comes to tougher grunts like the knights, not so much. Like, more often than not, I mean, it might damage them, but it'll usually bounce away.
Makes sense.
Because, yeah, no, those guys, they suck. Much like their inspiration.
Heh.
Come on,
And they come in many fanciful colors, as we'll no doubt see throughout the rest of our quest.
Oh, that's a lot of gems.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, like, again, like, this game is very, very... It's very plentiful with its secrets, and you will usually be handsomely rewarded for going out of the way to get them.
Gotcha.
Kind of wish there was
But
an easier
alas-
tale of what's up.
No, you got it.
I was just saying, I kind of would have appreciated if there was more of a clear tell of when those fire spots are. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well now.
Was that a ghost?
No, that was a jelly monster fashioned after us.
Oh my god.
Another bastardized creation of the old Spectre, not Spectre.
Plague Knight.
Yeah.
this is what you get when you try to play God.
You
You
can't.
should have killed me when you had the chance, Charles.
Also, I'm so sorry, but that's actually a line in the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde musical.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, how are you gonna get that one on the wall?
Simple, with teamwork. Just, yeah, no, having a buddy on hand definitely can help, especially when you come across those sequences where it's usually one and done.
Gotcha.
Because at least then you have somebody to footstool off of.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure they very much appreciate.
Well, I mean, hey, our armor's made of tough stuff. It's not going to hurt much.
Yeah, exactly.
Knave? Oh, there.
Anyway, one more good fish before we get to our boss. And there goes Logan dancing the night away.
Whoop, whoop, whoop,
It's
whoop.
another fish.
Ooh, you got a golden trout.
Honestly, it's one of those cases where I wish I was playing Plague of Shadows right now, where I had that one super special dance that you can learn in the game, because
Oh.
it works so well with this piece.
Yeah. Honestly, I felt like you should have taken that turkey since it looked like your health is still pretty low.
I mean, we're just gonna have to settle with what we got, because yeah, through this near drop, that's where we'll come across our next night.
All right.
You go first. Okay, I guess we'll go both at the same time. Leave me alone!
Show yourself, Plague Knight. Your trickery will not stop me.
Us.
Trickery? The fruits of my research are no mere trick. Boom! Now, let's have a lesson, shall we? I promise. It will be enlightening.
By the way, turn around. I'm right behind you.
Oh, there you are. So yeah, Plague Knight. It's really weird to see him look like this when he got a much better looking sprite in his
Yeah.
story campaign.
I am
Also, I
so
see you
sorry.
embrace Chaos Orb.
Yeah.
Oh, worry about that, Jordan?
Well, not so much ask, but it's like, I'm so sorry, but I completely forgot that he looks like this, and I just imagined him with boobs.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that because there is technically a gender swap mode in this game.
yeah, you
Ah.
can technically make him the girl if you want.
Hold on, are you talking about Mona, by the way? Also, oh my god, pixels.
Oh yeah, no, like this freaking fight right here. I mean, it's not the hardest fight in the world, but it gets really freaking chaotic.
I will say,
There
like,
we
the
go.
one thing... I will say, like, Joran mentions that, like, the one bit of, like, you know, memory trickery I have when it comes to Plague Knight is that, unless I'm confusing him with another knight, or it's just, like, his newer sprite in his solo campaign, I thought he was shorter than that.
I think they made him a bitch.
It's because of the other sprite and all that.
Right now, I think the newer sprite does make him look a little shorter, and also his beak isn't his mask doesn't look nearly as derpy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, it's like that beak is so freaking pronounced compared to the rest of his head.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's what
true.
the Plague masks look like.
Finish the job.
I don't want it.
Okay, fine.
Knight's rankings.
Honestly, I'm not even sure what the heck we were babbling on about during that part of the recording. But alas, as usual, we will see just how far we've fallen.
Oh!
And
Oh,
then
well,
the
it was
gems
enough.
more than made up for it. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Once again, I remain victorious. But alas, that is where we will end our tale for the time being. So we'll see you all next time. As actually, let me check real quick where we're on next. We're actually going to be taking a quick detour to our next town area next time.
Ooh.
Yay.
See you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Logan better have his mutton ready for us when we get back, because I'm starving.
Mm-hmm.